This is the CBS Evening News.
Live, LA's #1 way to start the day. The KTLA Morning News.
Live from Channel 5, the Texas News Channel.
The Idaho 8 Evening News starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Our top story
When we watch the news at home, we really don't think of all the work that goes into getting stories on the air. This is what you don't see.
Thank you for calling Idaho 8.
It starts out with the morning meeting at about 9 o'clock, and we see what's already in the planner from scheduled events going on. And each of the reporters is responsible for coming in with some story ideas from their particular beats, whether it be the city or police or education.
In Arco are on spring break right now, but next week, will they have a school to go back to? We're on our way to find out.
We had a viewer call in that morning, and he was from Arco, and he just was really concerned about the issue and thought that other people within the county should know too. We thought it was a big story for this area because it affected a lot of students.
We followed reporter Krista Madson-Smith and cameraman Matt McCoy to gain a better understanding of what exactly goes on behind the scenes.
I'll just go in and see if they're out of their meeting yet.
Okay. To begin an interview, the most important thing I think is lighting, and then a second would be a background. You would never want to put the person you're interviewing in front of like a white wall. That's like just horrible. You want some kind of action maybe in the background, a plan, a picture, something.
So I guess now we're going to talk to some parents and then we'll come back and explore the school.
Of the high school?
So let's get Nat some before the flushing because...
No, I heard you get shocked, maybe.
You've been working here, you've seen the things that are a hazard here in the building. Does it surprise you something hasn't happened?
It's the right shots that make the story. The reporter and cameraman must work together to decide what will make a lasting impression.
From the outside, the high school looks about like any...
With the day drawing to a close, a phone call to the station informs the production staff of the angle of the story. This allows them to better prepare for the newscast that evening.
You never have time to eat. Usually it's a good idea to bring some kind of snack food.
We really do end up eating on the run a lot, but also doing our jobs on the run. You know, I'll be writing a story as we go back, or logging a tape, or, you know, trying to come up with an intro to a package. So it's a lot of work on the road.
After the shots are complete and the interviews are finished, it's time to rush back to the station to meet the final deadline.
I'll come and type my story. That usually takes quite a while because that's the creative process of it. And then you actually do the editing also. So in this market we get to do pretty much everything and get a lot of good experience.
You got something to fill the 30 with? Get a shot of me digging through this and trying to find the lipstick I want.
Tighten up, camera 1.
Camera 1, you're live.
Camera 2, bring it closer.
Take 1.
Today in Arco, the choice was clear. The safety of students outweighs the convenience of keeping a dangerous but paid-for school open.
There's a lot of hectic stuff going on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't know about. You know, cameras falling or studio ops, you know, not being at the right camera, or scripts being messed up, and we improvise a lot. There's a lot of chaos that happens during a newscast that we hide from the public.
I think the worst part of my job is when people complain, and you have to be a little bit thick-skinned in this business because you won't be able to please everyone all the time. If there's a controversial issue, perhaps one side will call and say, why didn't you present our side in a better light? You favored the other side. And then the other side might call and come back with the same argument.
After a successful day's work with everyone pulling together, the final product looks something like this.
Well, speaking of spring break, in Arco, some of the high school students are out on spring break, and when they come back from spring break, where exactly will they be going to high school?
That's right. Krista Madson-Smith was in Arco today, met with students, parents, teachers, and they all decided that the school there is no longer safe for the students.
The high school looks about like any 50-year-old building should, and structurally it's sound. The problem is everything else. We took a tour of Butte High today, thinking surely things couldn't be as bad as they seemed. We were wrong. In the locker room, lockers without handles. Drip in the shower, water-damaged floors, and ceilings. But that's just the outward appearance. The real problem you can't see.
You know, it's interesting because things have just been so jerry-rigged. You know,
Last week, just a few days after a $4.4 million school bond failed, an inspection of an electrical circuit breaker proved what administrators had been trying to tell voters.
he took the cover off of the main breaker box in the boiler room, and as he slid that cover off, it exploded. It just exploded into fire.
Joy, Lynn, and Tina were among 100 other concerned parents present at last night's school board meeting.
Did you oblige your son to go back after the fire that took place on Friday?
I don't think I would, no.
And why is that?
I'm really concerned that he would not be able to get out.
So really quite a serious situation there. The last bond failed by just 7 votes to build a new high school. Opponents say the school is only 50 years old and it's poor management and maintenance that has put it into a state of disrepair. However, the folks at the school administrators say that even levies for school improvements have not passed in Butte County. And they say where there's no money for improvements, those improvements can't be made.
They will have some...
After each broadcast, staff members gather on set for a short meeting to discuss any problems and formulate ideas to improve future newscasts. Often as television viewers, we don't think about the work and preparation that goes into broadcasting our favorite programs. However, thanks to Idaho 8 and their dedicated news staff, we really don't have to.